Yeah, I remember John Salley, he actually reminded me that at one point, the Warriors going to trade Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they start talking about it, he was like, no problem. Hey, whatever y'all get, whatever the offer is, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to play hardball and potentially end up going to some other team and whatever. Nah, I'll take whatever y'all are offering. I'm staying.
But they were going to trade him. They were going to trade him. They didn't think he was doing what was necessary.
Steph Curry, you're talking about? Really?
They were going to trade him. And then when it came time to take an extension, he took it right away. No time for us to go back and forth. I want to be here. This is where I want to be. This is where I'm comfortable.
And look what happened at the end of the day.
And it was so funny. And because he was getting injured, his contract was low. Even his shoe deal, everything was low. And what ended up happening is it turned. He turned. He said, you know what? I like this style. I can do something with it. And then eventually the hard work paid off.
I mean, you being a professional basketball player, where would you rank Curry? All-time greats.
All-time
greats. You knowing what you know. Let's take all the 6'2" bullshit out the equation. You, one of the top NBA players of his era, knowing the game better than everyone who's watching right now, where would you rate him in the all-time greats?
Without even just diving into my list, I'm going to just go and say he's going to be top 10. Somehow I'm going to put him in the top 10, knowing what I know, knowing his work ethic, knowing his height, knowing what he does, the excitement, being a guard, being a guard in Golden State where I was too. Like, I'm going to put him in the top 10 just off of rip. Like, it's like one of those things. I'm going to put him and then I'll try to figure it out from there. But we're trying to compare his style to a style that is dinosaurish. You know what I mean? So when someone was like, well, how are you going to leave out like Larry Bird? Easy. Like, I can do that easy. I can look at his stats and then go there, not realizing, well, the game is so much faster. Meaning when they were scoring 86, 96, these guys are scoring 100, 120, 140, so they're going to get more attempts than you. So their numbers are going to be higher than yours. It's going to be inflated because they're moving faster. They're not sitting there pounding the ball in. So it's hard to really gauge, So I say, I can only go off of from 90 up. Anybody before the 90s, I don't put them in my top 10.
So the Bill Russells you want to put in your top 10?
No.
Well, I mean, the Bill Russells were like having to get summer jobs and so forth, like to make ends meet during that era, right?
Yeah. So that means if you got to get a summer job, that means you're not working on your game that much. How good is that era?
Exactly.
But that's mine. That's me being just picking. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I looked at, rest in peace, Bill Russell. I went back. And I'm sitting here like, there's 6 teams, there's 8 teams, there's 4 and 4.
Yeah.
You guys got 10 All-Star games, but there's 12 players on the All-Star game. There's only damn near 20-something players on each side. Of course, some of you guys are going to have fucking 9 All-Stars. You should have 9. First of all, if you didn't make the All-Star game and the All-NBA team, something's wrong with you. But that's why you have players who played on the bench that's in the Hall of Fame because they have to put somebody in there. If your team was good, there was no free agency market. So you couldn't pick up free agents. It was either draft or trade. So if you're the number 1 team, they're not drafting somebody that's going to change their team that fast. So you're going to stay dominant for years to come.
Yeah. I mean, he had 11 championships in 13 years.
Yeah.
I don't think if you take a young Bill Russell and you throw him on any team, he's not going to dominate in the same way.
If they had 16 teams in that league, they don't win 11 championships.
Right.
Because you got to remember, by the time free agency, you remember free agency means if you're a free agent, I can go sign you. Well, let's say you're last place team, but you have a superstar. Hey, let me trade for your player real quick. I can get your star.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, oh, I'm playing like shit anyway. All right, go ahead, take my guy. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, there was no super teams back
then.
Yeah,
Boston
big
super,
threes.
No, Boston was a super. Boston was no super. They were super dynasty.
Yeah.
You got what 12 Hall of Famers on the out of 15 players, 12 of them in the Hall of Fame. You don't think that's strange? You know, you got a guy playing 11 minutes. He's a Hall of Fame. Get the fuck out of here.